On the edge of the Yorkshire moors is the picturesque town of Kirby Moorside, home to auctioneer Angus Ashworth. He's on a mission to help some well-known faces.
Hello! Welcome to my humble home.
Hello!
Hello!
Turn their odds and ends.
It's just sat there, collecting dust.
It's valuable and should be looked after.
Of course, we just use it for a fruit bowl.
Into piles of cash.
£200 to £300 there, maybe £300 to £500.
So that might fetch a couple of quid.
It would.
Come along as he visits their homes.
Welcome to West Sussex.
You're very welcome, sir, very welcome.
Welcome to Shea McGee.
What a wonderful place.
And uses his expert knowledge
They're one of the nicest things I've seen in a long time.
to uncover hidden gems.
There is something else I think will excite you.
Very glamorous.
And I had some big earrings and I was really showing off.
Sentimental family heirlooms.
They were my granddad. My granddad was my hero.
And the slightly odd.
Do you like my lips?
Very nice lips.
Children's shoes, which are a little bit spooky.
Then invites them back to his Yorkshire Auction House
And that's paid for my dinner.
to watch him put them under his gavel. Kirby Moorside in North Yorkshire is home to the Rydale Auction House. With its sale room jam-packed with antiques, collectibles and jewellery, every item has a story to tell.
We all hold on to things and items that have memories and connections for us, but ultimately there comes a point when you've got to create some space and let go of things, and that's the great thing about auctions, you know, things go to new homes.
Today, Angus and right-hand man Pete are meeting a magical TV personality to arrange a sale of some personal items.
You're right, Pete.
Yep.
I have got an absolute treat for you. Guess whose house we're off to?
Go on.
The Debbie McGee. We're off down to her house.
When?
Now, Pete, we've got to go. Go jump in
Come
the
on,
van.
then.
We're off.
I remember her as a kid.
I know, she was on telly all the time, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She's great.
Come on, then.
Come on, then. All right. I've never seen you so keen.
Watched and loved by millions, Debbie McGee has been on our screens since the 70s. Half of one of the world's most successful magical duos, she and her husband, Paul Daniels, achieved international fame with their hugely popular TV shows. And Angus is coming to see what she's ready to pull out of the hat.
Debbie McGee, here we come. They were quite into antiques. I mean, I do worry she won't be able to part with things. I get the impression this is kind of a test for her, you know, see if she can let go of a few bits.
No, well, she's done the first step. We're on our way down to see her.
I lost my husband 5.5 years ago now. And it's been a long road of not wanting to let go of his things. They're all memories of our life together. So this sale is kind of the beginning of losing the old Debbie McGee, and I'm moving on.
After a 200-mile drive, Angus and Pete arrive at Debbie's home in Berkshire.
Look at that, right on the banks of the Thames. It's gorgeous.
That is nice.
Have you been practicing your magic?
No, but I should have done.
I don't know any magic, apart from when I sell stuff. That's magic.
Married for almost 30 years, Debbie and Paul moved to their modern dream home in 2008. And they filled it with curios and treasures from their life together. Angus hopes to be going back up north with some of them, but only if Debbie is happy.
Hello there, Angus.
Morning, are you right?
Welcome to Shea McGee.
What a wonderful place.
Oh, well, you're going to see more of it now.
Thanks.
Come in.
Thank you very much, thanks.
Many of the things here, unsurprisingly, relate to Paul and the world of magic.
I have got a couple of pieces in here that I couldn't let you go home without seeing. And,
Oh.
yes.
Wow, look at that. That is wonderful.
French, of course. It works. You wind it up, and then he taps his wand and lifts the hat, and a different item comes up each time.
I mean, that is wonderful and, you know, very rare.
So I get to look at it every day, Angus, not to make you jealous or anything.
So we're taking that, is that right?
No.
No, OK.
No, no.
The automaton magician. Absolutely fantastic. And automaton is basically a moving object, and that at that time was magical in its own right. There was no such thing as TV or radio in the sort of early mid-Victorian period, and something like this would have been an incredible joy to see. Very collectible. Then add on to the fact that it was Paul's, it's worth a lot of money. But there's no way Debbie's going to let me take that, so I will have to admire it and leave it where it is.
I'm attached to most of the things that I've got, so letting go is really hard for me.
In Debbie's spare bedroom, something catches Angus's eye that she might be prepared to let go of.
Paul had it before we got married, and in our other house it was very oldie-worldy. It went beautifully, but here, as you can see, it's much more modern. So I thought it's another item that maybe we could sell.
Absolutely, and you're right, it is antique. It's well into the, sort of mid-19th century, so pre-Victorian, earlier than that. And what's unusual about it is actually these finials, the little acorns, which are quite nice. Sadly, this type of furniture's really gone off the boil. They don't set the world on fire, unfortunately, in terms of value, but, it's a nice, good period antique.
I've also got another mirror over there.
That's a later one. That's a Victorian one, so slightly later in date than this one, but, those two would be absolutely fine.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the best removal man of all? Pete, of course, and while he starts packing, Debbie shows Angus some of Paul's things in the dining room.
This little thing with a little sheep on.
What's this?
Well, Paul, loved toys, really. I don't know where this came from, but I think, from what I can remember, because it was quirky, he bought it. It's like noughts and crosses. So you put them, and then, it's a little bit different, isn't it?
Well, that's right. We like fun.
Right.
Debbie and Paul first met in 1979 when she became his magician's assistant.
I went to the Royal Ballet School where you had elocution lessons, so you spoke the Queen's English. So when I met Paul, I was awfully posh. And so he was always saying, "No, Debbie, it's not Bath, it's Bath."
You were in the Iranian
I
ballet,
was.
wasn't it? I mean, that must have been, people wouldn't think of that now, would they?
No, I mean, I was 19, needed a job, and they were paying a fortune. Yeah, so off I took to Iran, but I was there when the revolution broke out. Came back and auditioned for a modern show. So that's how I met Paul,
Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't like magic, but I just needed a job.
Well, I'm afraid when you come to the auction, my 4-year-old's practising a trick for you. So,
Oh, wonderful!
yeah,
I shall look forward to that.
The Paul Daniels Magic Show was regularly watched by 15 million viewers in the UK and sold to 42 other countries.
And presumably, you sort of, over yours and Paul's career, you must have travelled a lot.
We did, and we've got loads from Japan because we used to go over and do TV shows there. This is a Japanese tea bowl. We went to a tea ceremony in Takasukishi, and it was made and painted by a famous Japanese ceramic artist.
Okay.
And I've got, it's quite pretty, isn't it? But of course, I don't really drink tea out of a bowl.
I mean, we drink a lot of tea in Yorkshire, as you'll know, but that's a big bowl of tea, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? It's translated into Danny Roo Summer, which is Mr. Daniels.
And a really interesting piece. And is there anything else in here?
I have this little item. It's a ring, diamond and sapphire,
okay,
so I won't
lovely.
touch it. But it belonged to Paul's mother, who died at 97, 2 years before Paul. And it's none of the family wanted it, and it's too big for me, and I've got little hands, so I can't wear loads of stones.
Yeah.
So I just thought that might be a nice little item to sell.
That would be, absolutely, yeah, no, that's very nice. Jewellery always sells well. People like sparkly things, and, the stones aren't the biggest. It's diamond and sapphire, not massive value, but that means it's affordable. Who doesn't like a little bit of sparkle?
In the walk-in wardrobe, there is more Debbie is ready to say goodbye to.
I did Strictly Come Dancing in 2017.
You were very good, weren't you?
Oh, thank you very much. Well, I did get through to the final, so say no more. So these were a pair of my actual shoes that I wore on Strictly.
Brilliant.
And we cut the toes off because the toes were pointed. All the pro girls gave me all the tips of what to do and soak your feet in vodka and it stops them hurting as much. And this is the bag that they came in. The little item in front of you is actually a dress. And
I tell you what, it's quite a heavy dress, isn't it?
It is, and these are all chains.
Yep.
And I wore it to Ascot one year with a hat. It's very movie world, isn't it?
It's very glamorous.
And I had some big earrings, and I was really showing off. Do you think hats would sell?
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't necessarily get huge amounts. It's not quite a Yorkshire flat cap, is it? But look at that. Oh.
I think it might be better that way around on me.
You know, it's not the sort of thing we get every week. The market's fairly limited, but obviously if it's a particularly high-end make or designer brand, then, yeah, it's going to do well. And we you know, you've got to remember we're selling on the internet to the world.
It's not just inside homes that Angus can spot a treasure. It's outside as well.
Garden stuff is as popular as interior bits, and chimney pots actually sell quite well. That's a crown top, because it looks like a crown, hence the name, crown top. And that one's in good order, so that will sell well. Good crown top, pot like that's 30 to 50, 40 to 60 pounds. People like planting strawberries and things like that in them. So I'll get Pete to get those on the van. I think I'll just sit here with a cup of tea and watch the river life.
What was that about? You worried about me getting an heart attack?
Poor Pete. I hope it makes Angus do the driving back to Kirby Moorside.
If you want a hand, just say. I'm just...
Yeah, go on then.
What?
Can I have an hand?
The thing is, there's a swan. I'm just making sure it doesn't get in trouble, you know, swimming.
As much as Angus would love to watch the swans all day, they had better get a move on. It's time they got the van packed.
I have to say, the whole day's been a truly magical experience. I think Debbie's really looking forward to the auction day, and she'll enjoy it. I mean, she loves Yorkshire. You know, Paul himself was from Yorkshire, so let's see. We'll see if we can find somebody that would like one of her dresses. Hopefully we'll do all right with those.
I'm really hoping that having let go of some items that have always been quite important to me because they've got memories attached to them, that it'll be good for my brain and clear the cobwebs away and say, I've got the memory of it, I don't need the item. I'll look forward to seeing you again.
See you on auction day.
Thanks for everything. Bye. Bye, Pete.
Back at Kirby Moorside, Pete is helped by Gary to unload Debbie's light but precious load.
We've got some nice stuff. It's got quite a few hats. Obviously, there's some dresses. And it may look like we ain't got a lot, but what we have got off has been nice. So that's it. So I'll leave you to sort through them if you want to.
Yeah. We'll get them lotted up, ready for the sale.
Yeah, right then.
Pete hands over to Rydale's team of valuers and cataloguers.
They are nicely made. They've been well worn as well, actually. But they've even got a name written inside.
I'm very intrigued to see what these do.
Yeah, so am I.
I think that'll be good fun to see what they make.
At least a week before the auction, detailed entries go live in the online brochure, and then every item needs to be put out for visitors to see.
How are we going to get
hang on.
On there?
Including the dress Debbie wore for the Christmas special of the Paul Daniels Magic Show back in 1993, before Charlotte and George were even born.
It's going to work.
I think Debbie McGee is too small for this.
It's not going to get over the...
Smaller than this mannequin.
God, it's a bit tight.
Oh. That's progress.
Don't let us slip out. Hang on.
Hang on.
No, it's not going to go on.
12 days after Angus's visit, Debbie has travelled up north with her younger sister Donna. They are nice and early, so they can have a good nosy around.
So it's quite weird walking in, seeing myself. But yeah, so that was all the bits of memorabilia and stuff. Now we're here, you can really feel it quite, and I'm excited but really nervous because...
Are you?
What if they don't sell or they'd only go for like £5, £10?
But it's just exciting being here, though.
Well, no, but if it only goes for £10, I'll be like...
Yeah, heartbroken.
Yeah.
I think, you know, maybe her clothes, a hat and that sort of thing, hats are going to be a slight struggle. One, because, you know, Debbie's very petite, so they're not necessarily going to fit everybody. They're not necessarily the most commercial.
Angus's hopes lie with Rydale's internet bidders.
We're bidding online and, you know, we've got some commission bids and stuff, so Yeah, fingers crossed.
It's nice to feel that I'm decluttering. The only one is that dress and cape. So I hope it goes for a decent amount of money.
Because you're emotionally attached to it,
Yeah,
I suppose, aren't you?
but no, I don't have regrets.
Walking around this corner, that's it, literally.
Before Angus takes to the rostrum, there's just time for Debbie to meet the next generation of great magicians, particularly Angus's son, Fenner.
Hello!
Show Debbie your magic trick that you've been learning.
Oh. Oh, wow! Does it go back together again? Oh, you have got two thumbs. I thought they'd both disappeared. Oh, that's very clever.
Come on, that is going to work.
Now it's Angus's turn to take centre stage.
Really, auctioneers are definitely a bit of theatre. They're actors, aren't they? So we are hoping to see Angus at his best.
But it's not a solo performance. Conjuring up the online bids are glamorous assistants Emma and Heather. While sale room manager Jeremy, glamorous in his own way, is on the phones. George is today's porter. Angus's mum Caroline is here to keep an eye on her son.
So here we are.
I know, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
The lovely Debbie McGee collection. There we go. Hello. This is when we find out if I can perform magic or not.
First up, her famous dancing shoes.
£30 start me, £30 surely. £30, and you, £30 a bid at 30, 30 straight in at £30 at 30 it is then. 32 is it now, 32, 35, 38, 38, 42, 5, 8 is it, 48, 50, £50 it is then at £50 it is, 5, 60, at £60 it is then at £60 at 65, anywhere is it now, 70, at £70 it is then at £70. Somebody else got small feet at £70 it is then. We all done for the Strictly shoes at £70.
The shoes are off to an internet bidder in Tyne and Wear.
I am really pleased with that.
Summer dress with chainmail on it, and this was worn at Ascot, I do believe.
It was, indeed.
Yeah. Who would have thought my mum would be a model? Not me. The other hat, Mum. I don't expect you to get in the dress, it won't fit.
It goes on the side of your head.
£30 start me, let's go. £30.
You should buy me this one and then send me somewhere nice.
Yeah, there's a lovely nursing home down the road.
Lots of laughs,
Please.
but still no bids.
At £30, I'm selling at 30.
Next up is Debbie's favourite dress. Can that add some extra sparkle to the proceedings?
My children saw this and they said, is it the Queen's dress?
Oh, lovely. I hope you said yes.
I did, yes. I said the Queen of Magic. We're off. Bids on this at 35, 80, 42, 42, 45, 48, 55, 65, 70. 70 bid with me on commission at 70 it is at 70. At 70 it's against the net at 70. 75 online, commissions are out. At £75 it is then at £75, 80 anywhere is it now? At 75, 80, £80 it is then. At 80, 85 it is then at £85. 85 it is then at 85, 90 anywhere. 90, 95, 100 surely.
Good.
And it's got a little shawl as well. 100, 110. £110 it is then at £110 it is then at 110. At 110 for the Christmas special at £110 I'm selling at 110.
Yeah, good.
Success for Debbie's precious Christmas dress.
Lovely.
Angus sells a winter hat, which was worn to turn on the York Christmas lights.
Happy with that.
Then two more stylish hats, off to new homes. Glittery headphones from her time on Strictly.
Pounds of galleries up at 38.
And even the chimneys bring in a pretty penny, making a total of 5 of Debbie's things all off to the same internet bidder.
Oh, good.
And now it's time for some of those items with a connection to Paul.
This is like a Yorkshire noughts and crosses, this, isn't it? There we go. Well, we're off. We've got £18. 18 and bid. £18 it is then at £18 at 18. 20 anywhere is it now at 18. 20, £22 it's out at £22. Who would have thought at £22 it is then? I'm selling at £22.
Good. Yeah, I've no idea what that would have been worth.
Will Debbie and Paul's tea bowl from Japan be big in Yorkshire?
30 bids straight in on commission at £30 it is then. At £30 at 32, 5, 8, 40. At £40 it is then at 40. At 42 anywhere is it now? At £40 at 42, 5, 8, £48, 50. £50 wrapped then at 50 it is then at 50. We're all done at £50. I'm selling away then at £50. 50.
Sold to an internet bidder in North Yorkshire.
I think I'm going to be emptying the house.
Yeah. bring it
sell everything and buy all new.
Finally, familiar territory for Angus.
There's some proper antiques. Late Victorian mahogany frame dressing table mirror there. There we go. £30 a bit at 30. Good Victorian mirror at £30 it is, then at 30. 32, 32, 35, 38, 42. £42 at 42 it is, then at 42. Selling then at 42. Last call at 42.
The other mirror is grabbed up too. And then it's time for Paul's mum's ring.
The 9-carat gold diamond and sapphire ring there. We're off 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 100, 110. £110 wrapped then at 110, at 110, at 110, at £110, at 120. At 120 gavels up at 120.
Yeah, nice ring, isn't
Yeah, I think I might be surprised at how much you've actually got.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, all good. And got rid of clutter out of the house and the garden.
Debbie is giving whatever she's made today to charity.
Well done!
I'm so happy you're so excited.
I want to know what the final price is.
I mean, some things did better than others, but you had one internet fan who just obviously very much likes you, buying a lot of your stuff, so...
Yeah, but at least I've got one fan. I mean, that's really good to know, Angus. So, yeah, so come on.
So come on, so you'll be...
Don't keep me waiting.
You'll be walking away with £721. I've never seen anybody so excited.
Thank you so much. We've really had a great time.
That's fine. Well, I'll go and enjoy it. I think you're going to go enjoy the weekend in Yorkshire.
I'm really happy. We've really had a lovely time. We want to come back.
The auction house sells such a wide range of items that Angus makes sure every member of his team has a specialist subject. Charlotte came to Rydale after finishing her Masters in art history, and one of her specialisms is vintage dolls and toys, making her the perfect companion for today's mission.
Hello.
Hey, you're all right?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Well, I think I've got a treat for you today. It's Feral Trek, but it's kind of called RAV Wilding.
Oh, OK.
Oh, OK, yeah. I thought you'd like that one. Come on.
Well, he did Crime Watch, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did you say he had some dolls?
Yeah, he's got some dolls. He's inherited stuff, I think.
It's a 200-mile journey to Rav's, pretty long by Angus's standards.
Do you know what, Charlotte? Considering we've come south to Bedfordshire, feeling a bit sleepy.
Are you?
Yeah. So we're off to Bedfordshire.
Oh, OK.
Get it off to bed.
Yeah.
If she can suffer Angus's jokes, hopefully poor Charlotte will survive the long journey. Angus and Charlotte are on their way to the house of TV presenter RAV Wilding. Former soldier, copper, and now one of our most recognisable presenters, RAV Wilding, best known for Crime Watch, hates crime. So Angus and Charlotte better be on their best behaviour.
I think he'd be quite an interesting guy, actually, because he's ex-military, so we've got that in common.
He's been a detective as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, you're quite into your crime.
I am.
Well, not you're into crime.
Seasoned criminal.
I don't think he's long had a baby, so I think he's just having a bit of a sort out, really. Yeah.
Rav and his wife moved out of London 3 years ago to this family home.
I think the biggest thing that I've been up to recently is raising a child for the first time. So I now have a 1-year-old, Poppy, and that has kept me very, very busy. Morning, both.
Morning,
Morning,
you're right.
hi.
Come on in.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Through here. Oh. A bit taller, isn't he, than you, I think, you know?
About 7 foot.
Not everyone has a cardboard cutout of themselves in their own house. I mean,
What you expected, or perhaps not?
what's that all about?
So, I do a show called Crime Watch. They'd go around the country and basically sell the show to the police officers and say, come to us and we can help solve your crimes.
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't personally there, but I was there in spirit, as you could see. And when I left the nighttime show many years ago, they gave me this as a parting gift.
So, I mean, is this something you'd like us to sell?
I like the way that you're asking me as a genuine question.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like you to try.
You know, you're a good-looking guy. I'm sure we'll find a home for it. Let me pass you.
I never even dreamed of television as a career. I wanted to be a police officer, like my grandfather was. I'd sit on his knee and he'd tell me about the police.
Now with a child himself, he settles for policing his own home.
Mirrored coffee table, it's probably about 3 years old, 2 or 3 years old, and it's a nice item, but I've now got a 1-year-old. She's walking and she's falling over everything, and this cabinet is something I'm very scared of. Now, it's not perfect. You can see there's a few little nibbles.
No, definitely take that. I totally get it from the child aspect. Rav's mirrored coffee table. It's not quite what we expect to see in a nice Yorkshire cottage. But, you know, he wants it out the way. It's a safety thing for his new child, and, you know, I'm sure online we'll find somebody for it. So it's win-win for everybody.
But it's not the non-child friendly table that has caught Charlotte's eye.
Here we have 2 dolls.
Oh, wow.
And all I know is there's something called Sasha dolls.
Okay.
They're my mum's, and she's had them for many years, and she's quite attached to them, but if there was the right price, she would be willing to sell.
Charlotte's our dolls and teddy bear person.
Is it 1950s, 60s?
She thinks they're that sort of age, yeah.
I mean, we do get quite a lot of interest with dolls. I mean, I think the ones that we've had through tend to be kind of older, maybe porcelain dolls.
Bit scary to me. Not gonna lie.
Not a fan of them.
They're not for me, and I'd be quite pleased if they're actually out of the house, if I'm honest.
I can't wait to do a bit of research, see how many were made, see if there's any features which might make them more expensive, and then hopefully put a good price on them.
With quite an eclectic collection so far, Angus gets a police escort for the rest of the house.
OK, so in here, first of all, I want to show you these 2 mirrors. Now, that mirror...
It's stylish, isn't it?
Yeah, that actually cost £850. It was a lot of money.
I mean, it's nice. It's in an older style, although it's a modern gilt frame. I mean, mirrors are a fairly good seller. You know, they're a good statement piece that somebody can buy as a feature piece in a house. We wouldn't get anywhere near that sort of money for it.
There is something else I'm going to show you which I think will excite you a little bit more. You've clocked it.
Tudor wristwatch.
Yeah.
Yeah, all boxed up. So what's the history of this?
So I actually bought this quite recently. I bought it because I knew that watches like this tend to hold their value fairly well. As you know, we have a 1-year-old running around the house, and 1-year-olds need nursery fees. So I think really the money would be better spent on that.
Rolex own the Tudor brand, so they're still expensive watches, but it's the slightly more affordable Rolex. There's a good market for it, and watches are becoming incredibly collectible. They've got all the paperwork there and everything with it, so that all helps. It's immaculate like new. Obviously, you've only recently bought it, so it's whether we can get that price again, but we could set a reserve on it and see where we get on.
So as long as it's over £2,000, I'd be pretty happy.
I think there's a chance there. I'll do my best for you.
Brilliant.
A lot of these things, I think, are practical moves for RAV, about, you know, getting rid of things that aren't practical for a young child. Luxuries, a wristwatch, do we really need that, or do we need childcare fees?
There is more to investigate in the garage.
OK, so this is my slightly cluttered man cave.
I was going to say, this is definitely your room, isn't it?
And this is not baby-proofed either. This may or may not be of interest. Yeah. Now, that watch there is a pocket watch that was given to my granddad on my mum's side.
OK.
By his mother, and that's definitely over 100 years old.
Yeah. OK. Well, it's silver, and this would be classed as a lady's pocket watch because it's smaller in size. So very pretty. Again, pocket watches, very collectible. They don't do huge amounts unless they're particularly special maker or the movement's something special. One like that would be sort of £30 to £50 is probably all we'd get. But if it's a family piece, then you might want to keep hold of that. But it's a nice thing.
Over 100 years old, and it might not actually go for very much money at all.
Is this meant to be in here, Rav?
I think my mum's chucked that in. I'm not a jewellery person.
Yeah.
But yeah, that looks like Del Boy has left something behind.
Well, it is a little bit Del Boy-esque, and this is to sell, is it?
I mean, I very much doubt that would get anything, but yes, potentially if I mean, it's hideous.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's.
But if you want,
but it's a George V half-sovereign ring, so you know there's £200 to £300 there, maybe £300 to £500.
I thought it was going to be about £2.
No, that's really good. We like that.
The ring is part of a long tradition of turning real coins into jewellery.
And what's nice is it's called a loose mount. So if you see, look, we can spin that coin round.
Right.
There's a bit of play in there.
Yeah.
So it means the coin itself hasn't been damaged.
Yeah.
It can still be collected as a coin.
Well, there you go.
And then you've got the monarch on the back.
Yeah.
And we've got a date, 1912. So, a couple of years before World War One. Yeah.
Wow. God,
there we go.
Hawkeye.
That's me told. Thank you very much, Mum.
I do want to show you this. This is a leather jacket that I actually bought for one of my first TV jobs. I was working in the Met Police as a detective. Someone saw an advert for a new police presenter, and then my colleague said they were going to do my application for me, and with the best will in the world, I did not trust 10 experienced detectives to do my application, thank you very much. So I applied and I did all the screen tests and kept getting called back.
I mean, it will sell. It's a good name.
There is another little space I want you to take a look at, and that is up there.
Up in the loft are some items from Rav's dad's side of the family, who originally came from the island of Mauritius.
And we've got loads of airmail letters, so obviously writing from Mauritius. First aid covers here, which is like a presentation set of stamps that were made to commemorate the Olympics. These are Mauritius Olympic 1988 stamps. They would sell as a group lot, but so if they're only going to do sort of £30 to £50, 40 to 60, he might decide actually, he'll hang on to them. Right, Ralph. Right. I've been rooting around, crawling around your attic.
Go on. How'd you get on?
It would be saleable as an overall collection, but we're not talking hundreds of pounds or anything like that. But I suspect some of these are quite personal, because a lot of them have got...
Yeah, they are. My dad came here in the late 60s, early 70s to train as a nurse. And that's where he met my mum. They were both student nurses. Right. But sadly, my granddad was never able to come over, so he used to write.
Yeah.
And so it's a lovely, sentimental collection, and it's clearly not worth that much financially, and I think it would have to stay with us for that reason.
You've got Rav's heritage in a box there, all those Mauritius stamps, and actually commercially not worth that much money. And is it really worth letting go of that for the sake of £40, £50? No, of course it's not. My job's not there to make every penny out of people. I've got a business and I've got to be profitable. But sometimes it's knowing where that line is.
Angus and Charlotte are still going away with lots of other things, though.
I mean, the star item in terms of value is the Tudor wristwatch. He's going to want a reserve on it. I'm hoping we do well for him, because it's those nursery fees are expensive.
Speaking to them about what the items were, whether it was dolls, whether it was my grandfather's stamps from Mauritius, really brought back some such lovely memories for me.
Brilliant. Cheers, Rob.
Thank you so much. It's been a real eye-opener for me. Fingers crossed, it goes well at the auction.
Well, we'll see you on auction day. Cheers, thanks.
Drive safe. I don't know if I'm going to be pleasantly surprised or disappointed with how much things do or probably don't go for. I have no idea what to expect.
Right, there we go.
In Kirby Moorside, North Yorkshire, Harriet helps Angus unload the van after his trip to see ex-policeman and TV presenter RAV Wilding.
Now, I know what you've always wanted in life.
Right.
He's tall. You like a tall guy, don't you? Not bad looking, is he? Nice guy.
Wow, he's got nice teeth.
Yeah, and he's better than, real boyfriend. If you get mad, you can just knock him over.
How am I going to carry him?
I don't know, just put him on your arm.
Over the next few days, the Rydale staff will catalogue RAV's things and put a brief description on their website so that potential bidders can see them in the run-up to the auction. On his rounds, Jeremy has spotted RAV's Tudor watch.
Fantastic watch, isn't it?
I think it's a good model of Black Bay. There's a lot of watch enthusiasts out there, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah. And this sort of thing, as you say, box, papers, the whole works, that's what they're looking for, isn't it?
Well, a lot of them buy them as investment pieces now as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
RAV bought the watch only 2 years ago and has set the reserve at £2,300.
We need to get a reasonable amount for it. I think it's, possibly achievable. Rav didn't buy it that long ago, and actually sometimes it's about selling at the right time. I think actually in the long run, he will be absolutely fine. He'll probably make money on it. He's put a fixed reserve on it, so if he doesn't make that, you know, he gets to keep his watch.
And there are other items with reserves too.
So these dolls are quite collectible, the condition's good. Unfortunately, they have a little kind of dimple on the upper lip.
Unfortunately for Rav's mum, that dimple dates production of the dolls to post-1960.
These dolls were a bit older, and if they were 1940s, and they could probably be making around the £1,000 mark. Unfortunately, I don't think these ones will fetch that.
Not old enough for the big money, what might they go for?
Rav's mum's put a reserve of £200 on, which I think may even be a bit optimistic. Hopefully they'll make, you know, a good price on the day.
Fingers crossed there will be some high bidders. With everything in place, it's almost time for the sale, and Rav is getting ready for his first ever auction.
I've just got here to the auction house and I wasn't really very nervous, but I can already hear auctions going on inside for other lots, and now suddenly I'm starting to get a little bit excited, actually. Angus!
Rav, how you doing?
Very well, good to see you. I'm excited about this.
Good, good. Well, you should be. Come on in.
Yeah, can't wait to see it.
It's not just Rav's items going to auction today. There are many other interesting things in evidence around the room.
I used to live there. And here you are. That, I can tell you, is a really weird feeling to have all these amazing things in an auction house and to see me and to know that someone, hopefully, is going to be going home with a 7-foot Rav later today.
Rav's got some interesting bits. It's not going to be the easiest of sells, but I think we'll do all right.
The seats are filling up and the auction is about to start. Assisting Angus with the online bids are Emma and Heather on the rostrum, and Jeremy is in charge of the phones. Nick is on porter duty.
RAV Wilding.
This is me, this is me.
Not quite in the flesh. Great thing is you don't have to feed this one or anything. He's, you know, it's just there in your room. So if anybody wants a Rav in their life, £30 I bid. At £30 it is, then at £30. At £30, at 30, at 30. Are you a fan of this one, ladies? Obviously. At £30 it is, at £30. I don't know who left the bid, Charlotte or Harriet. I think they're having you 6 months of the year. At £30 it is, then at £30.
£30 for me? I thought it was going to be a fiver, so I'm happy with 30.
The mirrored coffee table.
Coffee table that I had to get rid of because I was scared of the baby falling on it.
Quite a few. I have got £15 bid. At 15, at £15, at 15. I know it's not a lot, but, you know, mirrored coffee tables in North Yorkshire. At £15, just think of your daughter's safety. At £15 it is.
A bargain. Off to a child-free home.
This is a genuine Hugo Boss black leather jacket.
I think it would look good if you modelled it. Go on, give it to Angus.
This is what you wore for your first TV, that's right, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
I did, yeah. I bought it for some of my first TV jobs.
I mean, we usually go for tweed up in
Look
Yorkshire.
at that,
This is,
it's perfect. Biker auctioneer now.
Bid 50 and bid 55, we're off.
Oh,
at 55,
here we go.
60, anywhere is it now?
Here we
at
go.
60, at £60 is it now? 60 at £60. This costs you about 500 quid, doesn't it, Rav?
And the rest.
Yeah, at 60, £65, 70, anywhere is it now? At 65, 70 is it, yes? 70, 75, 75, £80. Then at 80, we're all done, the gavel's up.
I'm happy with this.
85 it is, then
I'm
at
very
85.
happy with this.
90 and bid at £90. I'm selling at 90.
Very happy with that.
Next, it's on to Rav's statement mirror.
Very elaborate mirror, there it is at the bottom of the staircase. Lovely, isn't it? There we go. You after this one? You just smiled when it came up. There we go.
The two ladies at the front are looking pretty taken with it.
50, £50, 60, 65, 70, 55.
Come on, ladies, bid high, bid high. Come on.
100.
This mirror cost over £800.
180.
So
190.
get in there.
200. 210. 220. 230. 240. 250. 260. 270. 280.
It's a good item.
290. 300. 300. 320. 320. Somebody looks very disappointed.
The ladies are out. It's left to the internet bidders.
At £380 for the mirror. At 380. 400. At £400 it is, then at £400. At £400, we're all done. You get Rav with it. at £400. I'm selling then at £400.
Very, very happy with that. £400 for a mirror.
It's on to the dolls. Can they fetch Rav's mum's reserve price of £200?
First of the Sasha dolls. There we go. We've had quite a lot of interest in
They
these.
have to do well. She wants them to do well. She wants a really high price. That's the problem.
Here. 5, 80, 5, 90, 5, 100, 110.
110? Okay. That's not going to be
110. All nets are out. 120. Anywhere is it now? 120. 120 bid at 120. You've all gone quiet on me. At 120. At 120.
Wasn't quite enough.
We've got a bit more interest in this one. We go straight in at 120, 130, 140, 150, 150, and we're out at 150. 150 it is.
Bids for the second dollar higher, but it won't be enough to persuade Rav's mum to part with her.
150.
Not quite enough to sell on that one. The reserve was set a little bit too high.
The dolls will be heading back home to Rav's mum. Next is the most expensive item of the day. Rav set a high reserve on this one, £2,300.
Tudor Black Bay. I've got £1,500 bid. 1,500 and bid at 1,500. At £1,500 for the Black Bay. At £1,500, cheap if you will go buy this. It costs you well over free. At 1,500, 1,550, 16, 1,650, 17, 1,750, 18, 1,850, 19, 1,950. 1950 at 1950. Got to have £2,000 surely. At 2,000, anywhere is it now? Otherwise, we'll move on.
No, didn't sell.
The windfall from the watch was not to be.
Might sell.
The final item of Rav's is the sovereign ring that he thought might be worth only a couple of quid.
We've got interest in this. We can go straight in at 150, 220, 230, 240. 240 it is now, 240, 250, 260, 270, 280. Then at £280 it is, then at 280. At £280.
That I am really, really happy with. That just sold for nearly £300, and I genuinely thought it was a bit of junk. I wasn't even going to give it to Angus. He found that. So I'm very happy with that. Very, very happy with that.
As the auction draws to a close, Rav wants to find out how much he's made from the items that he was able to part with.
Are you right?
Yeah.
A little bit mixed results. But
yeah.
The dolls, which, and you know, we nearly got there. I think we got to 150 and
we did. They belonged to my mother, and she wouldn't part unless it was the right price, and she's going to get them back. So it's still not the end of the world.
And you've got to keep your mum happy.
Very.
I know it's not fortunes, and we didn't get the watch away, but you're still going to be walking away with £853.
Oh, well, there you go. I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah.
Very, very happy with that. So thank you to you and your team for making it happen.
That's cool.
So that's about 3 weeks of childcare. Brilliant.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
What else can I sell? I never knew what to expect with an auction before. I just assumed it was really high-value items that I would never be able to afford with people that were nothing like me. And today, seeing what was up for sale and what did sell, and the people in the auction house actually were just like me. So yeah, I think I'd definitely go to one again.
On the edge of the Yorkshire moors is the picturesque town of Kirby Moorside, home to auctioneer Angus Ashworth.
220, 220, 230, 240.
He's on a mission to help celebrities.
Hello, darling.
Hello!
Hi.
Angus,
Annika.
hello, come on in.
Morning.
Turn their odds and ends
Maybe we should have a look round.
If you're ready for this,
Yeah.
it's a big place.
into piles of cash.
So do you think they're worth a bob or two?
Somebody would give you 10 quid for that.
Clearly not you.
Who signed it?
Yeah.
Sarah Baker?
Yeah.
Worth a fortune.
I think it's quite a rare thing. You're looking at about sort of 500 to 800.
OK.
Come along as he visits their homes
Gin and tonic?
This is just idyllic, isn't it?
It's pretty special, I have to say.
and uses his expert knowledge
That is actually a great find, but I can sell that all day long.
to uncover hidden gems
That cat is pretty calm.
I'm going to introduce you to Lycra Room.
Wow.
Sentimental family heirlooms.
I went on holiday with my mother on this little railway.
And the just plain weird.
No, Anthony said have a nosy in his cupboards, but what on earth?
Then invites them back to his Yorkshire Auction House.
580, 600 is it now?
To watch him put them under his gavel.
Oh my God, he's like a magician, isn't he?
The Rydale Agricultural Show is one of the largest in Yorkshire. Taking place just one day a year, it's an occasion Angus wouldn't want to miss. So he and Charlotte are paying a quick visit before heading to the auction house.
That's a grey Fergie, so that was my first ever vehicle.
Angus knows a fair bit about farm life and even competed in country show events when he was as young as 10.
Swaledales, which is a traditional breed that you'd see up on the moors round here and up on the dales. That's what I grew up with around me.
You look right at home there, Angus.
I can't believe how well behaved he is.
Just have a little stroke of him, mate. Yeah, no, he'll be all right.
Oh, he's gorgeous.
Talking of cattle, I've got to go see a bit of a celebrity that grew up on a farm. Does a bit of presenting on countryside programmes.
Who is it?
Well, you're going to have to wait and see.
It's true. Angus has an important job ahead of him, so he'd better get going. He's off to see one of Britain's most loved TV presenters. Helen Skelton. From Blue Peter legend to record-breaking athlete to Strictly star, there is no end to this Cumbrian lass's talents. Helen has been one of the nation's best-loved TV personalities for over 15 years.
I was on Blue Peter for 7 years, had the time of my life, travelled the world, did things you would never wish to do in your wildest dreams. I've always said yes to the things that I want to do. If it all ends tomorrow, I know I can look back and say I had a good time. And that's what it's about, isn't it? We're not here for a long time, we're here for a good time.
Poor Charlotte is needed at the auction house. Besides, there may be some heavy lifting involved today, so Angus is taking removal expert extraordinaires, Pete and Gary, on the short 60-mile hop to Helen's, just outside Leeds.
You a Helen Skelton fan, Gary?
Yeah, I watch her on Country Fire.
Yeah. Well, she wants a garage clearing as much as possible, and she's doing a load of house alterations and basically just needs a general thin out, a bit of help.
After recently separating from her husband, Helen's taken stock of her life and looking forward to a new beginning. She is turning her home into 2 separate properties. One she is hoping to sell, and the other will remain the family nest for her and her 3 kids. And the renovations are in full swing.
So if you hear clinking and cranking in the background, that's because bits of work are going on all the time.
The downsizing of the family home has left Helen with a stash of collectibles she's ready to part with.
This is a great opportunity to get rid of a load of stuff. I think you reach a point in your life where it's about what the kids need, and my kids, they need space for their stuff because life is about them.
I'll get pulled in and then I'll go meet her and let you get the van ready and see what's what.
Okay.
Hello!
Hi!
You must be Angus.
I am. How are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Come on
Go
in.
on, then. Wow. I love it. And looks like an amazing garden out there.
Yeah, well, 3 kids, they need plenty of space to run feral, right?
Yes. And how is it that I can help today?
So it'd be great to clear some space.
I'm looking round, there's interesting bits, a lot of, gymnasium equipment there.
I love a quirky old antique. We've used it as a toy, we've used it as a vaulting box. Now, because the kids are small, it's heavy and it's clunky, and I just think it's probably time for it to go.
Yeah.
The vaulting box was a wedding present to myself that I bought from an antique shop, and I've always loved it.
It's actually usable, and I think that's the 2 things. People like things that are a bit different, but also have a practical use.
Yeah.
So something like that would be absolutely fine. You've got 2 cinema seats.
I love an auction. When my Louis was little, I used to take him with me to auction and buy random things. I mean, I should get rid of them,
Yeah.
but I also don't want to. Chairs I bought at an auction, and I can remember having both of my kids one kid on my front, one kid on my hip. And yeah, bought them when we came to Leeds. I'm on the fence,
Okay.
The place that I could really do with your help is the chaotic garage, or one of my chaotic garages.
We love garages.
You might not love mine. Welcome to the carnage that is a garage.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a hoarder. Over the years, I have picked up loads of random things from my travels that I will never use. So basically, everything in here
Anything in here could go.
Yeah, anything. I mean, there's crockery and all sorts over there. I mean, he's fair game.
Do you know what? He would have been really saleable, but these headless reindeer are quite rare.
Listen, I worked on Blue Peter. I can put that back together for you. Only takes a little bit of sticky plastic.
He's only got one antler as well.
So far, nothing here that couldn't be fixed with a Blue Peter glue gun.
It's okay. There's a lot of bits there that aren't going to make huge amounts of money. So we'll have a go, but yeah, we'll see. All right, what have we got there, Helen?
What about this?
Yes, yeah. What do you want to...
It's apparently a Victorian dentist chair.
Okay.
Apparently.
And you fancy taking up dentistry at some point, or...?
No, it was in the attic of the old house that we bought, but I've hung on to it. I mean, what am I going to do with it? I thought you'd be excited by that.
Well, I am. It's probably just the fault of the dentist, I think.
You're just keeping a lid on it.
I mean, somebody sadly has painted it at some point.
Okay.
So I think underneath this, it probably would have been a nice mahogany. I think it's quite quirky. I think we could do something with that. I'll have a little rummage round and I'll give you a shout.
So basically, tomorrow it'll be empty and I'll have loads of money. Excellent, deal.
Well, yeah, maybe I can do one bit of it, yeah.
Has the dentist chair changed your mind about what's on offer here, Angus? Can you rest easy?
Helen's got a few quirky things. I mean, the gymnasium halls, the theatre seats, and I think she's made that decision in her head that actually, look, I just want to move on. Hopefully we can help her and we can raise a little bit of money too.
While Angus gets to grips with the things in Helen's garage, the boys arrive, ready for action.
We'll get some stuff loaded on, create a bit of space and see what's what. Yeah.
Leaving the lads to tackle the garage, Angus goes on the hunt in Helen's garden.
What you need at a table like this is a pint of Yorkshire ale. Well, no, maybe not today, but this actually wouldn't be out of place in a pub or a tavern because this is a cricket table.
Dating back to the 1600s, the cricket table was traditionally a round top set on 3 angled legs to provide extra stability on the uneven flagstone floors found in inns and taverns of the time. Conventionally made in oak or ash, it's now a classic piece of English country furniture.
They were made for the indoors. They weren't made to be painted white and used outside. So it's in a very sorry state. Really, I shouldn't take it, but I love cricket tables. The 2 chairs, these are nice, folding X-shaped metal frame chairs. I think if we sell it as a set, we'll do something with it.
Sure, it's a bit rough around the edges, but if anyone can give it a sporting chance of finding a new home, it's Angus. As the boys load it onto the van, Angus returns to the garage to hunt for more forgotten treasures.
I'll actually take that Chris Boardman bike, because I don't ride.
What, that white? You sure you want that to go?
Yeah, I don't ride it.
Better give it a test drive first, eh, Angus?
They're nice and light, these modern bikes, aren't they? Oh my God, look at that.
You'll never get your ass on that.
Now, Pete, play nice.
Oh, here we come.
There's only so many bikes one woman can ride.
Yeah.
I have 2 bikes. I bought a road bike a few years ago. I've used it a couple of times. I joined the triathlon club. It was a bit too intense for me. I fell off my bike. I just, you know, some people are built for speed, some people are built for plodding, and I'm a plodder.
Okay.
I'm sure you mean slow and easy wins the race, right, Helen? And that's exactly what the boys do over the next 20 minutes. With over 35 years' experience loading vans between them, they could do this job in their sleep. That's without Helen throwing any curveballs, of course.
Pete, there's 2 really big, chunky, sort of deco armchairs. She'd be very grateful if we could get them out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you where they are.
Go on then.
It's not just the garage. Helen's hiding more stuff in her pool room.
These two, yeah. Somehow, Helen Skelton has charmed me into taking 2 deco blue armchairs.
Oh, they're heavy.
The blue chairs, I thought, I'll get them covered, I'll put new feet on them, they'll look amazing. So I just thought, when am I ever going to upcycle those chairs? Just go.
After 2 hours of hard graft, the job is done. Will Angus get the seal of approval from Helen?
Your garage.
What? Oh my word, I can see the floor for the first time in 18 months. I've got to be honest, I just left you to it because I knew I was going to get sentimental. Thank you very much, Angus.
You're welcome.
What a treat.
Brilliant. No, thank you.
I'm so happy that that garage is a bit cleaner. I did not want to part with my vaulting box or with my cinema chairs, but when it came to it, I just thought maybe it's time to let it go. Don't make me talk about it because I'll go and get it off that truck. I want it back.
I mean, she kept saying it, it's a little bit like therapy. It was a good, nice release to sort of see that space. I get that. There's a few things I'm going to struggle with. I mean, it's a white painted cricket table. It's been ruined. At the end of the day, Helen's happy. So happy Helen, happy Angus.
Let's hope it's all smiles come auction day. Back in Kirby Moorside, the task of unloading Helen's items lies with Angus and valuer Mark.
Oh, you're right, Mark.
Yeah. Where are they? Pete and Gary?
Oh, Pete and Gary have had to go on a job. Me and you doing the work again.
Again?
Hey, do you like this? Helen Skelton's bike. Me and you are used to old school bikes, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's a while since I've been on a bike. Look at that.
Once inside the sale room, Angus takes a look at one of Helen's more vintage pieces. Unsure on its saleability, he wants to fill in the gaps with a full examination.
Helen believes this to be a dentist chair. It possibly could have been. It's Victorian. It's had this finish put on it, which won't have been original, so that's not great. But it was a thing of purpose. And recliners have been around in various forms for thousands of years, but then developed more mechanically in the Victorian period, and in the 1920s was the first patent for the recliners that we know today, sort of sat down on a big comfy armchair, pulling your lever and popping your legs up. It's going to be like pulling teeth, I think, on sale day, but I'm sure with Helen's charm and charisma that she'll help me get a sale, and we'll find somebody for it.
Hopefully, Angus is more enthused about the rest of Helen's items. They are researched and catalogued over the next 5 weeks by Rydale's team of experts. Well, when they're not messing about, Charlotte.
Oh, there you're off. Watch out for the van.
It's the big day, and Helen's arrived to see all her things go under the gavel. Well, all except one.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good to see you.
And you? So you wanted to take bits out?
I just got really stressed about my cinema chairs and I thought,
Yeah,
I would be reluctant to part with them.
Yeah.
Is that okay to have them back?
Of course it is.
Okay, thank you.
No problem at all. Come in, have a look at your items.
Helen has 44 items up for auction today, and they'll all come with memories attached.
Oh, you see, I look at my stuff and then I think, oh, was this a good idea letting it go? I won that for my kid when I threw basketball hoops through something at Legoland. But they just attack it and fight over it. My dentist chair. No one knew what to do with it. The heaviest mirror in the world, again. Mirror, but it's so heavy.
It's not the heaviest of her items, though.
The one thing she really wanted me to take out of her house was those 2 Art Deco chairs and their blue upholstery, the hardest colour to sell in upholstery.
There's no time for excuses, Angus. This Strictly Star has 18 lots going under the gavel today. The auction house is bursting with excited bidders, hoping for a glimpse of some showbiz glamour, or maybe just pick up a bargain or two. Our judges monitoring internet bids are Emma and Heather, while James takes to the floor on portering duty. It's showtime!
There we go. So we start with the Helen Skelton collection.
Oh,
there we
that's
go.
mine.
Yep, delighted to have you here. Thank you.
Are these your children?
This is the twins, yeah. Arthur Arwen, do you want to say hello to Helen? Arthur's been saving up his pocket money because he would like to buy one of your lots.
Arthur, Daddy said you can spend double today.
Quick, Angus. Distract her, or she'll get your kids spending all your money. Maybe if you get a good price for a cricket table and 2 bistro chairs.
There we go, a lot of interest in this one. 85, 95, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. £150 it is.
For something Angus was a little nervous about, it's doing really well.
I can't believe it's on 150 for those table and chairs.
150, the cricket table at £150 it is then. I'm selling at £150.
Selling for nearly 2 times its estimate, the cricket table has been given a new home just down the road in Pickering. Hoping to step things up another gear is Helen's next item.
This is Helen's bike.
Bought this. Every time I've been on it, I've fallen off it. So I thought it's probably time to get rid.
We're at £60. £60 a bit at 60 it is, then at 60 it comes complete with a water bottle.
Yep.
65, 65, 65. It's a very good bike. It's light, you can pick it up with one hand. 70 and bid, 70 and bid at 70. In the room, 55, 80, 80.
The man in the room and online bidder are fighting it out for this one.
80 it is, then at £80. 85. 85 it is then.
The man's out.
We're all done then, I'm going to sell then. Bid at £85. We're all done for the racing bike at 85.
Result. Helen's bike is racing off to its new home in Newcastle.
I'm just relieved if someone else can use it. That in itself is a win. The cash is a bonus.
Next up is Helen's vintage leather top vaulting box.
23, there we go. This is great. There we go. Where should be for this?
Kind of sad to get rid of this.
40 and bid at £40 at 40 it is, then at 40. 2, 5, 8, 50. It's a good thing this. 50 at 55, 60. £60 at 60. We're all done at 60.
Sold to an online bidder right here in Yorkshire. Angus might need to fight tooth and nail to sell this next item.
This is, not many people know that you used to be a dentist, do they?
This is a Victorian dentist chair. You in it?
You can lean back in it, recline there.
Thank you for demonstrating.
Or you could use it as a barber's chair. Very unusual. £50 start me for it. £50, 50. Maybe a bit too unusual. £30, let's be on then, at £30, at £30, at £30 for the dentist chair. At £30, and Helen will cut your hair in it. No, save that one for another day.
Unfortunately, the bidders just aren't biting, so Angus will save Helen's chair for a later auction.
You look so uncomfortable right now.
Next to go under the gavel is the pair of deco armchairs that aren't quite to Angus's taste.
The lots you've all been waiting for. The deco chairs, these...
He hates these.
I don't hate them. I mean,
They could be amazing if they were covered, couldn't they?
Yeah, they're great. No, honestly, they're really good. I'm surprised you got rid of them. We've got £30 bids. Somebody wants them. At £30 it is, then at 30, 2, 5, 8, 40, £40 bid. 40 on commission at 40 it is, then 42, fresh bid. Commissions are out. 42, 5 in the room, thank you. 45 it is, then at 45, 48, 48, 50, 50, 50 and bid. 5, 60, 5, 70.
Someone else in the room likes Helen's chairs, but so does an online bidder.
5, 80, 5.
They're gorgeous chairs.
90, 5, 100, 110, 110 it is. At 110, you have to go a long time before you find another pair. At 110 it is, then at £110, the pair of deco armchairs that I love now. At 100, 120, back in, thank you, at the back of the room at 130, 130.
But £130 is too much for her.
At £130, and I'm selling the deco chairs at 130.
And they go to the online bidder. Starting at a low of £30, these blue babies have reached 3 times their estimate.
They're lovely, aren't they, those?
You didn't even want them. Swap over, Angus, I'll do it.
Over the next 6 minutes, Angus fires through 12 more of Helen's lots, including the globe,
42,
the heavy Art Deco style mirror,
£30 at 30,
and a quirky gold-painted light fitting.
£20 at 20.
And it's the final sale of the day, one which could put Angus in the doghouse. as there's a particular bidder in the room that's got their sights set on it.
I've heard nothing but this for the last week.
So if anyone else takes the dog from the child, shame on you.
Well,
okay?
yeah, I need to make some money.
Arthur, I've got your back.
£10 start me for the dog. £10 a bid at £10 at 10 it is. At £10 at 10. We're all done at 10. I'm going to sell then at £10.
Yay!
Looks like this young bidder is going home happy.
Every night he's been running into the sale room trying to get that.
Arthur.
The auction is over and the deal has been sealed. But what number will be on the dotted line? Has Angus managed to turn Helen's bits and bobs into a healthy profit?
How are you?
First of all, respect. I mean, as a farmer's daughter, I've been to a lot of animal auctions.
Yeah, they're a little bit faster, yeah.
But you're like a theatre magician.
Thank you.
What about the total then?
Yeah, well, you'll be walking away with £965.
That's amazing. I mean, that is amazing. And the little boy's gone home happy with a new teddy. That's a win-win for me.
Brilliant. Well, I'm delighted
Angus.
you're happy. Thank you. I know.
You're a magician.
The deco chairs, well, they sold very well, didn't they? So that proves me wrong. I think the best result of the day was the fact that Arthur managed to buy the dog. So the children are very happy. Helen's happy. We're all happy. So great stuff.
Kirby Moorside, as well as being home to Angus and his auction house, is one of the oldest market towns in North Yorkshire, with a high street that has held a weekly market as far back as 1254. It's not market day today, but Angus can still grab one of his favourite bites.
Can I get a couple of your famous daddy sausage rolls?
Yeah, they've got that black pudding in, is that all right?
Yeah, they're good at those. Brilliant, thanks.
Thank you very much, bye-bye.
Another celebrity has called on Angus's services today, and they are hoping their bits and pieces will stand up in a sale room. Angus will need some extra muscle, and a good bribe can go a long way.
You all right, Barney? You all right, Pete?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've been to the bakery.
All right.
Because we've got a bit of a trip.
Go on, Barney, we go in, eh?
I wonder who it is. It's a 3-hour drive for Angus and Pete to Stafford to meet one of our most admired entertainers, Nick Hancock. Comedian, writer, actor and presenter, and from iconic shows such as They Think It's All Over to Room 101, he's been on our telly boxes for over 3 decades.
I always remember my mother who'd be saying to me, you know, you're never going to get a job talking about football and telling stupid jokes. That's exactly what I did too, which is very pleasing.
That should be quite funny today then, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Born and bred in Stoke-on-Trent, Nick is a man very proud of his roots.
I bang on a lot about Stoke. But I used to go with my granddad to watch Stoke play. It's the only place I really feel at home.
Now living just a stone's throw away in Stafford and having recently downsized just 18 months ago, Nick's 3-bedroom barn conversion is fit to burst with knick-knacks and curios.
My son and daughter are forever telling me to get rid of stuff, and this is a great chance.
He's familiar with auctions because he bought an FA Cup winners medal.
Yeah.
He bought it for, I don't know, 20,000, and then sold it for about 220 odd thousand. So, yeah, I'm hoping he's got a few FA Cup winners medals.
Yeah.
Be quite good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would actually.
Not half. Hoping his home will unearth more profitable possessions, Nick is keen to hear from the expert himself.
No idea if any of it's worth anything. You know, and Angus seems to be the sort of man that'll give it to me straight. I hope not too straight, but he'll give it to me straight.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Sorted.
Yeah, lovely. Right, Pete, I'll go in and meet Nick. Are you taking Barney for a walk?
Yep. Good lad.
Angus, hooray, come on in.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, no problem at all. What a lovely spot you've got.
I've not been here long, actually.
You sort of downsized into this, is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, the kids reach a certain age and they move out, 12. And no, they've gone off to works and universities and things like that. But there's a ton of stuff here, which I'm hoping, please, you can help me with.
I'm sure we can sort that. And is it all sort of around the house, or are we?
No, I've got a garage out
Right.
there, which I did have a quick glimpse in, and I thought it was going to look very neat and tidy, but it's going to be a little bit of a fight for you.
If it makes you feel any better, I've never yet gone in a garage that's got a car in it, so... I'm glancing at this because, of course, there's a bit of aviation history around here, isn't there?
This is something I bought at an auction. It comes from a Junker that I think was shot down over, I think it's Hampshire or Sussex, possibly, during the war.
That's a rare piece of history right there. This is a piece of a rescue boat that the German pilots used to keep in their Junkers bomber aircraft in case they had to ditch into water. This particular one comes from a bomber that crashed in 1940 during the Battle of Britain, where over 1,700 German planes, like this one, were destroyed over 15 weeks.
Well, it's a lovely sort of snapshot of history, isn't it? And is that something that you'd sort of be willing to part with?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing this this garage of yours.
Garage, skip, much the same thing.
Let's hope the garage is where Nick keeps his massive collection of rare football medals.
This is Nick, this is Pete.
Oh, yeah.
Pete, how you doing?
Oh, yeah.
Strong arms today?
Yep.
Good.
All ready for it.
So,
well, it's a garage.
Good luck is all I can say. I'll leave you to it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Good luck.
No worries.
The garage is stuffed full of stuff. It's be really interested to see, you know, what Angus finds.
What's your feet?
Don't worry, Nick. You can count on Angus.
They're all right, these, actually.
No, they're good, aren't they?
Yeah. We've had one or two, I think.
Yeah. I absolutely love club fenders. They originate from the 18th century and they go round the open fire and people could sit on these lovely padded seats and enjoy the warmth. And despite being around for all these hundreds of years, the design really hasn't changed and they're still very popular today. This one's actually a reproduction of a Victorian style one, but nevertheless, people really buy it for the look rather than the period. So they're a nice thing. They're versatile and they're a classic.
Not a bad start. And what's this?
I've got a rocking horse that I mentioned. I gave to my daughters. I mentioned it to her, and I said, I'm thinking of getting in the rocking horse. I don't think you're going to be using it again. You are 22.
That looks like a very retro lava lamp.
That takes about 3 hours to heat up.
Does it?
There's an eclectic mix of bits and bobs here, that's for sure.
But if you find the seat base to that, I'll be able to use it, see if it works.
You're not sitting down, Pete.
Well, clearly, he's not going to take everything in the garage. We should take the bigger things, to tell the honest truth.
Just leave that out by the door.
OK.
Yeah, I don't want a lot of room, but it would be nice to be able to breathe in there.
The van is filling up nicely and the garage is unearthing even more goodies.
At first glance, you might think these are... Well, they're a pair of lions, aren't they? But you might think they look like a doorstop. But actually, I think they've started off life as something else. Now, these are cast iron, and they're fairly typical of the Regency period, which is the early 19th century. So what I think these are probably originally have been fire dogs. Now, fire dogs would have had a bracket that came out the back and legs, and you could have sat a fire basket in it.
The fire basket safely contained the burning logs.
But now, somebody just had this as a decorative item in their house. Sadly, they're not early, mid-19th century ones, they're 20th century ones, but they're still a good, heavy cast metal piece that could act as a doorstop.
They'd have been some seriously big doors. Let's hope these are a roaring success come auction day.
OK, it's good to see you working.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you popped out, actually, because I just wanted to check. You happy for the desk and the chairs to go?
Yeah, that's the desk with the, the two lots. And the chairs, absolutely. This, I don't know. I don't know what you think about that.
It's quite interesting, isn't it?
It's a very specific local thing that you'll know about.
It's an oil painting by Anthony Forster, a late 20th century local artist from Stoke-on-Trent, famous for capturing Staffordshire's finest scenes, including the potteries. Of course, by the late 18th century, North Staffordshire and Nick's beloved Stoke was the largest producer of ceramics in the UK, and still is today.
It's a nice local picture, isn't it, really? That's the...
It is.
Yeah.
But I like it, but honestly, sometimes you have to just say, I can't find anywhere to put it. So I'm very happy for you to do with it what you want, actually. Do you know what? I was going to say I was going to keep it, but no.
Right. Pete, quick, before he changes his mind.
Okay.
We'll get all this loaded up.
Good lads. Thank you very much. Thanks, Pete, mate.
Okay.
All right. Oh, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Things I haven't looked at for many years.
With the day drawing to a close, the lads load the last of Nick's goodies.
That's us all done.
Well, listen, thank you so much. You've been so helpful. Obviously, you won't really be judged until we get to the auction.
Yeah, no pressure, no pressure.
I'm fascinated to find out what happens.
Brilliant. Well, we'll see you on auction day.
See you soon.
The thing I'm most excited about is that club fender. There's always people that want them, so that's a good bit.
Nick will be hoping that they are all good bits that you've taken today, Angus.
You always feel justified when something sells for a lot more, and slightly insulted when it sells for a lot less.
The pressure's on, Angus. You've got to try and ensure Nick's got more than just a big empty garage to celebrate come auction day.
It's all my room, it's my room.
Back at the auction house, Pete is helped by Gary and Mark to unload Nick's things.
Yeah, that is nice, is that? Yeah.
While Jack's been tripping out to that lava lamp.
So this quite unique lava lamp has come from Nick Hancock. It's very sci-fi. I mean, it actually gained a lot of popularity when it was first shown on Doctor Who in the 1960s. And these sort of things really took off. The actual process of how you get this sort of effect is it's either a wax or oil solution type in water. Now, in this case, it's wax. With the popularity of our lamps, they do sort of ebb and flow in sales, unfortunately.
No pun intended, Jack.
It'd be very interesting to see this on the day and how it goes.
Want to watch, perhaps? Even though Nick has just 22 items going under the gavel, the team still go all out researching, cataloguing and putting estimates on all of them. Charlotte and Angus's mum Caroline have been investigating an old writing desk of Nick's. Did he write some of his gags on here?
And I like this, with it being oak and simple.
It's quite nice, isn't it? Do you know what age it might be?
I would have said about 1910, somewhere around there. I do like a leather top desk, because obviously back in the days of writing with an open nib, it acts as a cushion but doesn't damage the nib or the paper. A well-worn-in leather top just speaks.
Yeah, you can see the wear on it, can't you?
You wonder what's been written on it.
It's been 3 weeks since Angus emptied Nick's garage, and Nick has made the 180-mile journey to Kirby Moorside to watch his items go under the gavel.
Angus.
How are you doing? You all right?
I'm right. Only one thing.
Yes.
That I would say is I'm having a little bit of seller's remorse over my painting.
I knew it was going to be the painting.
It just suddenly felt far more personal to me, because it's about Stoke-on-Trent. I'd like to maybe leave it. So what can I do?
So you can leave a reserve. So you can, the minimum value that you would allow it to be sold for, and we wouldn't let it go for less than that.
Well, I'd be upset if it was less than 100.
Okay.
I'd be quite upset if it was less than 250.
Right. Why don't we put a £200 reserve on?
Go on then.
Yeah,
Shall we do that?
and we'll see how we get on.
Again, you're such a salesman.
With 15 lots of his up for grabs, Nick's got one final chance to see them before they all hopefully get whistled off to new homes.
This was my daughter's.
Yeah.
And I'm now remembering that she did do quite a lot of cutting of the hair.
Right.
You know, in the way that children do.
That's nice, that.
It is quite a nice one, isn't it? And I've always liked this club fender, isn't it?
It is a club fender.
Tell you what, many's the night I've sat on that, you know, with a fire in the background, putting the world to rights with various friends.
Yeah, and I will tell you, there's a lot of interest in it.
Is there?
There is.
I think there might be.
Nick's items have drummed up thousands of views on the online catalogue, and today's auction could see upwards of 800 potential bidders checking in live online.
Nick's got a real interesting mix of items. A few traditional bits in there that perhaps aren't the current market, but no, I'm reasonably confident.
The time has arrived. As Nick takes his VIP seat front of house, Jasper and Jack fire up the monitors for those online bidders, and James limbers up for portering duties. First up is the retro lava lamp.
This is the most amazing lava lamp I've ever seen. £30 start me. It is stylish, is that? £30. It's huge.
Oops, there are no takers.
20 then. £20, let's go. Come on, I told them it was really good, this. £20 a bid, thank you. At £20 it is, then at 20. At £20.
Someone online has bitten.
20, 2, 5, 8, 28, 30, £30 at £30 at £30 at 30. Selling then at £30.
Angus gets the sale. The lava lamp is off to glow up its new home in Yorkshire.
Halfway to my petrol.
It's a modest start, but maybe the pair of cast iron lions will launch some fierce bidding.
Straight in at £30, on the net then at 30. £30, 2 is it now, 32, 5, 5, 5 and 8 is it, £38, 42 anywhere now, 42 is it now, £42 shorty, 42, 5 and 8 is it now, £48 is it now, £48, 50, £50 wrap. At 50, it all done, at 50.
Not bad.
It's showboating.
And now for the section of the rescue boat that was recovered from the Junkers aircraft.
I've got a low bid, and it starts me off, it gets me going. 40, £42 at 42 it is, then at 42.
Well, someone has, Nick.
5, 5, 5, 8, 50.
And it's rising.
60, 60 and bid at 60. £60 at 60, at 60 it is, then at 60. 5, 70, at £70 it is, then at 70 for the survival boat at 70.
Another item gone. Next up, Nick's Anthony Forster painting. There's a £200 reserve on this.
Where should be for this? 100, £100 starts me straight in at £100 at 100, 100, 110 at 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. At 150, at 150, we're all done at 150. Gonna sell then at 150, we're all done. Any advance? At 150, don't worry, it's going back. At 150.
With the highest bid £50 short of its reserve, Nick will be taking it back home with him. I think he's pretty chuffed.
Thank goodness.
Lot number.
Next to go under the gavel is the Edwardian oak pedestal desk that Angus's mum Caroline likes so much.
There we go, lovely desk is that there. Where should be for this? And it goes straight in. 32, 5, 8, 40, £40 a bid at 40 now. At 42, fresh bid at £42 at 42 it is then at 42, 42, 45,
Seems so keen. You wonder why he doesn't buy these things.
£45, £48.
He likes them,
48
really.
it is then at £48 at 50. 50 a bid at £50 at 55. Anywhere is it now? At £55 it is then. We're all done. Lovely desk at 55. 60 in the nick of time.
An online bidder just in time.
Don't miss out for a fiver. At 60 it is then. 60. 5.
Someone else wants it too.
That's £70 if you want to be it. At 65 it is then. At £65 at 65. All done. Gavels up.
It's a keen bidder in Doncaster that's got this. It's the turn of Nick's daughter's favourite toy, made by Ian Armstrong, a rocking horse maker based in Durham. Saddle up, Nick.
There we go, where should be? £100 start me. £100. We're off. 100 and bid, thank you. £100 at 100, 100, 110 is it now? 110, 110, surely 110. 110, 120, 120.
Sounds like a racing commentator. It's a rocking horse.
130, 140, 150 is it now? 150, 160, 160, 160, 170 is it? Surely 170, 180.
Bidders haven't been put off by Nick's daughter's hairdressing skills.
At 180 it is, then at 180 it is, then at 180. At 180. 190 anywhere is it now? At 190, 200, thank you. At £200 at 200 then. We're all done. I'm going to sell then at 200.
What a result! This sale puts the rocking horse firmly in the lead.
£200, thank you.
All right.
8 more of Nick's lots get the Angus treatment over the next 4 minutes, including a fire companion set.
50.
A collection of brass rods.
42.
And an Edwardian oak chair.
50.
Raking in some extra cash for Nick.
Now we can have dessert at Christmas dinner.
But what about Nick's final lot? With bags of online interest, it could very well steal the show. It's the club fender.
Always popular, these club fenders, aren't they? 200, 210, 220, 220, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 270, 280, 280 I have, 290, 300, at £300 bid at 300, 320, commissions are out, 320, 340, fresh bid at 360, at 360 for the club fender, 380 back in, thank you, rounded up, 400 bid, thank you, at 400, gavel is up, I'm going to sell then, at 400 for the club fender at 400.
It's a great result for the online bidder and for Nick as the club fender tops its estimate.
£10, that's
It's
on this
exciting.
way,
I enjoyed
£10,
that.
10 anyway.
Will Nick be just as excited by the total he's made today? Will he be cleaning up after this garage clear out?
Angus?
You're all right.
I am all right, yeah.
I think you're secretly pleased that you're taking your picture home,
I am
aren't you?
happy to take the picture. I wouldn't have been that happy to let it go at nearly any price. I mean, obviously, silly money. Yes, yeah, I could bear that, but but I'd rather keep it and and hand it on to my son and daughter, so it's their problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I suppose you'd like to know what you'd be taking home.
Can I have a guess?
Oh God.
I'm going to go for 1,120 is my guess.
Well, you're taking home £1,123.
Oh, you see?
I mean, I can't believe you got that.
Yeah, that makes it even better than the money.
Ah, a numbers man. Well, it's a win all round for Nick today.
I really enjoyed it. I've got rid of a load of stuff out of the garage, which was actually the first aim, and made a little bit of money. I've enjoyed the experience too. It's been great. So, yeah, very happy.
Do you know what? Nick actually had a reasonably good day. Club fender, thought that would sell well, and it did. It did a good price. There's a few happy buyers out there, and there's a happy Nick.
On the edge of the Yorkshire moors is the picturesque town of Kirby Moorside, home to auctioneer Angus Ashworth.
Now, this is a good thing. I know a lot of you in here own Ferraris.
He's on a mission to help celebrities.
Welcome to Pal Towers.
Blimey, that was a knock.
Nice to see you.
And
Come
you.
on in.
Hello.
Turn prized possessions collected over their lives
And these are potentially to go, are they?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a bit weird.
into piles of cash.
If we auction this, we're going to go halves on the profit.
Come along as he visits their homes.
Basically, my home is your home.
Anything that doesn't fix cars can go. You can assure me you're actually an auctioneer. This isn't some weird burglary or something.
And uses his expert knowledge
If this is right, this could be something very special.
to uncover hidden gems,
The table at the back, I like more than anything else.
Yeah.
sentimental family heirlooms,
This is a problem when your mum and dad keep everything.
and the super strange.
So, how do you have Houdini's sack?
Then invites them back to his Yorkshire Auction House, where he sells their unwanted treasures
1,800 for Lawrence's pumpkin.
and makes them lots and lots of money.
Yes. Thank you very much indeed.
I bet this is a pigeon carrier.
A lot of unusual items pass through the auction house,
Look, for anything but pigeons would work, wouldn't it?
from sci-fi toys
Oh, Mum's calling.
to curios from days gone by.
At the time, it would have been expensive. Get a photograph. So it was mainly the middle to upper classes who could afford it. And that's a beard.
Yeah, that's a beard and a half.
Talking of impressive beards,
There you are, Jack. Do you know who famously rolled out of a rug? Grand entrance.
Yeah, Cleopatra to Julius Caesar.
Who famously played Cleopatra in a Carry On movie?
We're not going to see Amanda Barrie, are we?
Yes, we are. Roll up your rug and
Yeah.
we'll...
I'll get this rolled up and I'll get
We'll
you
go
back.
see Cleopatra / Amanda Barrie.
Perfect.
our Yorkshire boys are off to see Carry On actress Amanda Barrie. For a whopping 9 decades, she has been a star of stage, screen and the telebox, playing Corrie's Alma Sedgwick through the 80s and 90s. And she shows no signs of letting up.
I do all sorts, darling. I'm in the entertainment profession now and have been all my life.
Amanda now resides in a glorious Georgian house in Somerset with her wife Hilary, an author and journalist, and their dog Coco.
Did you want to say something about your life? We had to get married for the sake of the dog, because it wasn't fair that she was living in sin, really.
Quite right. The couple met in the 90s when Hilary was writing a profile of the Corrie star, and they tied the knot in 2014 at Amanda's spiritual home, the Drury Lane Theatre in London's Covent Garden.
Didn't get married till I was 80. Oh, sugar. I don't know, I'm so old. I'm the antique kid, that's why I like antiques around me, because they're older than me.
And her antique addiction is causing trouble in paradise.
The main reason we wanted Angus to come is certainly Amanda's side of things rather than mine. No, your treasures. Her treasures had got a little
She's
just
lying.
a tad out of
She's
control.
lying.
To be fair, it's not all Amanda's.
I owned an MG, B, Roadster, much loved. I had for 40 years. She's 52 years old. And I felt the time had come, and this seemed an opportunity.
Right, keep your eyes peeled, Jack. There's somewhere along here. That's nice. Looks a beautiful garden, doesn't it? Stunning.
Oh, my goodness.
Hello.
Hello! Hello! Oh, look at them. Oh, how exciting. This is quite exciting.
Well, it's very exciting for us to meet you,
I'm very excited.
This is Jack.
Hello, Jack. Hello,
Yep.
Jack.
What an absolute stunning place you live.
We're lucky, at least we've got a little bit of sunshine, because you couldn't actually see the view an hour or so.
I mean, look at it.
I suppose you want to go inside, don't you?
Well, it'd be lovely to have a look round and see what we can do for
I
you.
suppose that's what he's here for. Come on, let's get you in. Let's get you in. Oh, I'm so glad you got here.
So are we.
Set in 4 acres of rolling Somerset countryside, this stunning house has a pool and 3 floors packed with period charm and Amanda's antiques. But her collections have also started to spill over into a large shed and several garages.
Oh, look, all my sins have visited upon me. Oh.
This is wonderful. Now, this is an auctioneer's dream. Where's all this come from?
A great dear friend of mine said, oh, darling, Camden Locker opening, we must do a stall.
So in the early 80s, Amanda and her good friend and star of Crossroads, the late Heather Chasen, set up shop on Camden Lock Market on the Regent's Canal in London.
And we started with a little tiny stall like that.
So you were a dealer, and this was
I
all...
was a dealer now. And I finished up bigger than this, and then I got sort of into it, and then I got this dreadful disease.
Passion.
This
Passion.
disease.
Is pretty much anything in here sort of to go?
Yep.
Brilliant.
And if that wasn't enough...
There.
Oh, wow.
Lovely. Absolutely stunning.
So why an MG?
Well, I've loved them all my life. I went on a trip, I was a show business journalist to LA, and I saw all of these vehicles I couldn't possibly afford.
Hilary was interviewing huge stars like Michael Caine, but she became smitten with a different type of pin-up.
I walked around Beverly Hills and I saw an MG, and I went home and bought one.
When they launched in 1955, The MGA and the MGB were considered to be the epitome of the modern British sports car, and Hilary's Roadster rolled off the production line in 1972.
Lovely, isn't it? I mean, we'll take good care of it. I think me and Jack have got our work cut out today. Yeah, so we best make a start. There's lots of interesting things. I mean, Amanda used to be in the trade, so there's always that chance that we're going to find a few gems. I think this could be a good one.
Jack gets stuck into the garage.
I mean, Amanda's got a lot of really lovely, fantastic items in here, really what we like to see.
While Angus checks out the shed.
I've actually sold one of these before, and they are a cast metal plaque commemorating, well, the Duke of Wellington, famous for the Battle of Waterloo, and he was colonel of the 33rd Regiment of Foot, which became the Duke of Wellington's regiment, named after him as an honour. He died in 1852 after a very successful military career. It's cast metal, being painted, probably sort of 60 to 80 pounds, something like that, and it's just in a shed, rusting away. So I think, you know, that can definitely go on the van.
Angus is already off to a good start, and while Jack keeps hunting outside, he can't resist a look inside.
It's just items everywhere you look, I find fascinating bits.
Including a little something from Amanda's time on Corrie.
When I was in Coronation Street, we all wanted bits of memorabilia. They had been putting an accessibility ramp, and they'd taken all the cobbles out, and they couldn't get one back in. There was one left, and there was my cobble.
But to make much-needed space in her life, this octogenarian is prepared to sell this rare relic of TV history, along with some other soap memorabilia.
Amanda's had all these plaques put on it and done the provenance for it. And, you know, if only things could talk. I mean, how many people have walked on that? You know, what stories could it tell? I think there's obviously going to be some massive Coronation Street fans out there. I best get it on the van.
Which is filling up nicely. Hilary's beloved MG won't fit on it, though, so a transporter has arrived for that.
Look at that. I hope she gets a really nice owner who gives her lots of TLC.
As Hilary says a fond farewell to it, until she sees it at the auction in 2 weeks, of course.
Beautiful.
Angus seems to be uncovering yet more treasures in the shed.
Do you know, I had a feeling we might find something good today, because, you know, Amanda's been in the trade and mixed with the right people. And if this is right, this could be something very special. But it's a pencil sketch, and it's signed, very importantly, Gustav Klimt.
Hang on a minute. Klimt is famous for The Kiss and The Lady with the Fan, which recently became the most expensive artwork ever sold in Europe, fetching, wait for it, £85.3 million at auction.
He's extremely well known as an artist. Born in the 1860s, died in 1918, and he's seen as a prominent artist in world history. Now, they range massively in price. If this is right, this could be something very special. So, we'll have to do some research on this.
How exciting! After 4 hours of sifting, lifting and loading...
All right, Jack, you ready?
Amanda thinks Angus deserves a gift for his troubles.
You don't want a man's leather full-length jacket, leather jacket, do you?
How generous. Will it fit, though?
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Oh. Warmed your hands up.
It's like a carry-on movie.
I'm so sorry. In one of those pockets, there's a button. I think you'd better look at the button. I nearly found his button there by mistake.
I feel like I need a trilby or something.
I've got one of those.
Very dapper.
Wonderful, thank you.
And finally, after a mammoth 5 hours, the day is done. The van is loaded, and Amanda and Hilary have parted with over 150 items.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I can't believe it. I cannot.
Your treasures.
Oh.
thank you.
I think we should have an interesting sale. You've got lots of interesting bits. And I have to say, it's been an absolute joy. I mean, you just couldn't find a nice couple. And then, you know, Amanda comes out, I've got a jacket for you. I mean, just very, very kind and generous of her. So hospitable. And, you know, I could have sat here all day. But, you know, we've got a long drive and we found some great bits. You know, potentially there's that Klimt drawing, which could be something very special.
You can bet your life Angus is going to examine it further back at the auction house. And if it is a Klimt, it could be carry-on millionaire for Amanda. Back at Kirby Moorside.
Hey, Mark, do you want to give me a hand with this?
Jack, with the help of trainee valuer Sam, begins the task of unloading Amanda's antiques.
Jack, do you know what these are?
Angus came away from Amanda's with a job lot of 5 clay tiles, which could date from as early as the 14th century.
Amanda called them medieval. It would have been from a fireplace originally. There's one which is a knight on a horse with Latin written around it.
All right, OK.
But they're quite an interesting lot, then.
The unloading of the van has barely started, but Angus has made a beeline for the Klimt sketch.
Yeah, do you know, I got so excited because I found this in a shed. I mean, you know, and I thought, is it a Klimt? It's very difficult with pictures, particularly big names. Are they right? Are they wrong? First of all, with anything, is provenance. And actually, coming from Amanda, it's got pretty good provenance. You know, she was dealing in the 50s, 60s, and she's had it a long time.
Austrian artist Gustav Klimt started working professionally in 1880 when he was just 18 and carried on until his death in 1918.
Does it look like it's come from that time, the right, correct time period? The paper looks right. The frame is definitely from the right period. All good points. The other thing is, on the signature, it's very slightly different from examples that we've seen. Very slightly different. Now, somebody might decide to take a chance on it. Somebody might invest quite a bit of time and money to get that proved to be genuine. That could, of course, backfire. And you balance that all up, and we come to the conclusion that it's best to put it on the market, but catalogued as the Circle of. And Circle of basically means it's probably been done at the same time period as Klimt, but not necessarily by his hand. And we will see what happens on sale day.
Definitely one to watch. In preparation for the auction, all of Amanda's items will be photographed and researched, and a detailed description written in the online catalogue so potential buyers know exactly what they are bidding for before they part with their hard-earned cash.
Well, I've just been going through some of Amanda's lots.
Yeah.
And found that.
This relic from the past has piqued Mark's interest, and specialist glass valuer Chris.
It's like a little jug, maybe for like oil or something, scented
like
oils. Got a nice loop handle on it there. Yeah, it's kind of typical of like Roman glass vessels of this period, is that kind of bluey green iridescent colour. And it's to do with the iron content actually in the silica. Silica, of course, basically just sand. That's all it used.
This little Roman jug could fetch a penny or two on auction day.
But it's fantastic.
It is a nice thing.
There's no chips on it or anything. It's wonderful.
With the auction starting in less than an hour, bidders from far and wide have arrived early to get a good seat for today's sale. And Amanda and Hilary have made the 300-mile trip from Somerset.
Oh. Hello, you all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good trip up.
Yeah, very good,
well,
thank you
welcome
very
to Yorkshire. Are you excited?
I feel peculiar. I can see my car.
Yes, it's wonderful, isn't it? I promise I haven't been taking it out for drives around the moors, I promise.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I'll check the mileage.
So, why don't you come on in and have a look round?
The large collection of antiques, curios and memorabilia that Amanda has amassed during her 9-decade-long career on stage and screen is now waiting in the wings to be sold.
How does it feel to know this is all going?
It feels odd, actually. I mean, they seem to have been part of me for such a long time, all these bits. My stuff.
These are amazing. I can't believe your feet got in there.
Of course I did. I wouldn't put my hands in there, would I? You can't do tap dancing with your hands.
It looks like Amanda has made her peace with the idea of selling her items. Besides, the auction is about to begin.
Right.
Ooh.
onto something far nicer. There we go. The Amanda Barrie collection. There we go.
Joining Angus on the rostrum are Charlotte and Jasper, with Joe on phone duty and Sam donning the porter's coat. Angus is ready to go.
This is the only cobble that we're aware of that has ever come on the market.
Yes, first up is an unusual stone relic from Coronation Street.
There we go. We've got internet bids. I've got commission bids.
The online bidders are logged in and waiting. And commission bids have already been left by absentee bidders.
For the Coronation Street cobble, 30, 50, 100, 122, 125, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180.
The internet bids are piling in.
190, 200, 210, 22, 30, 240, 250, 260. Can you get any more of these cobbles?
No.
A soap superfan on the phone is battling with an eager online bidder.
Oh my God. 720, 740. That's 740. 760, 780. Final call. We're going to sell the world's most expensive piece of stone at £780 down.
Off to a great start, and a Corrie-obsessed bidder in Staffordshire, not far from the fictional home of Corrie in Weatherfield.
Wow. Thank you very much indeed.
Now, can Angus cobble together a few bids for the continuity photos of the Corrie cast? Say cheese, everyone.
Fit 40 and bid. Polaroid pictures, there's loads of them there. 42, we're off now. At 45, slow burner, but we're climbing. 45, 8 surely. £48, 48, 50 at 50, 55, 60. Found one of Amanda, internet bidders, and she's going to sign it now. 65, 70. £70 and bid at 70. At 70, you've just added £10 to it, Amanda. £70 it is, then at £70, at 70, at £70.
A picture-perfect price for the Polaroids taken in Corrie's glory days.
Thank you very much. I'm very, very pleased that they're going somewhere.
Now it's the moment of truth for the sketch, possibly by artist Gustav Klimt, that was covered in spiders and cobwebs in Amanda's shed.
The reclining ladies got lots of interest in this, international interest. We are at 120, 130, 140, 150 and bid. 160, 170, 180, 190, 200, 210, 220, 230, 250, 260, 270, 280, 290, 300, 300 and bid, 320, 340, 360, 380, 400, 420, 440, 460, 480, 500, 520. Do you want something stiffer in that drink? 540.
This local dealer might need to make it a double.
Right, 600, 620, 620, 640, 660.
With online and phone bids.
700, 720, 740, 760.
Pushing up the price.
£900 a bid, 920, 940, £1,000 bid. You all right?
Yes.
Yes.
You found it.
I did. It was in the shed under a pile of stuff. £1,000 I bid. So I'm going to sell away then at £1,000. Final call at 1,000.
Someone liked what they saw and dished out a grand for the Circle of Klimt sketch.
Well done, Angus.
You've had a good eye, haven't you?
She has, Angus. She chose me.
Over the next 60 showbiz minutes, Angus rattles through 40 more lots, including the Duke of Wellington plaque,
Then at £50.
the robust little Roman glass jug,
We're all done at £100.
and a set of medieval fireplace tiles.
I'm going to sell away then at £90.
Amanda's garage gave up some goodies, but her partner Hilary's garage stored the precious car that she is parting with today.
So this is a wonderful car. My children think I should buy it, but it is the MGB Roadster 1972. I have an opening bid of 6,000. At 6,000 on commission. 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, 6-4, 6-5, 6-6, 6-7. 6-8. Imagine going over the moors on this, the top down, the wind in your hair, like a movie star. At 6-9, thank you, 7,000. It's your last chance at £7,000.
Say goodbye.
We're all done. I'm going to sell at £7,000.
Been very emotional for
Gone to a
her.
lovely lady who had her mechanic come across and look at it all. So it's gone to a good home.
Gone to a good home, Henry.
It's the end of the road for Hilary and her MG, and for the auction too. Bidders leave the sale room with their goodies, but will the couple be happy with the amount of cash that Angus has raised for them?
Hello, Angus.
Hello, you two.
Hello, Angus.
You right?
Yes, I'm stunned.
Stunned? In a good way, stunned?
Oh, yes, stunned in a good way.
Oh, excellent. We have to mention the picture, don't we?
Listen, it would have been sitting in there with spiders, you know. So thank you for unearthing it. I'll send you in there again as if you can find it.
Excellent. I'd look forward to coming down again. It was lovely. Yeah. well, I suppose you'd like to know how much money you're taking home.
I lost count completely.
Well, you'll be taking home £12,233. I mean, obviously, you know, some
Well, it's
pounds.
good.
and
I
that.
suppose
You want some of it, do you?
No, I'm managed. That is, as far as I'm concerned, that is remarkably good.
Amanda's delighted. I think she had some surprise results. There's a lot of things she'd completely forgotten about. Been in that garage for years.
I did sit there with a little bit of pride today as some of the prices rose. Now, I just glanced like that over my shoulder at her. I went, junk, was it?
I'm really, really pleased because she has some really interesting things and they're just the most wonderful couple. I think I'm going to book a holiday down to Somerset.
But Angus can't go off gallivanting because another punter with treasures to sell has been in touch.
Morning, Joe.
Morning. But before they can set off, auction house valuer Charlotte needs to grab the details from Joe.
Angus has asked me to ask you to give me the address for where we're going today.
Hang on 1 second. Oh, he lives in Wales. You're going to see Tim Vincent.
Oh.
Tim Vincent, an actor watched by millions playing vet Adam Forrester on Emmerdale from 2000 to 2001 and fronting the nation's longest-running kids' TV show, Blue Peter. But is this all-round TV action man ready for the auction man?
They always say in showbiz, never meet your idols. It's a bit like a Terminator in tweed.
I couldn't have described him better myself, Tim. Let's hope this unstoppable auctioneering cyborg can impress you further when he sees what goodies you have.
You did Blue Peter, though, didn't you?
He did do Blue Peter a little bit before your
Yeah,
time.
it's a bit too early for me, but I love Blue Peter.
Tim Vincent will be meeting Angus and Charlotte in North Wales, so it's a 3-hour trip.
I think he sold his house in London and he's recently bought a farm, a cottage and land, and it needs a lot of work and doing it.
So is he looking to get rid of some things before he moves in?
Yeah, I've just been out, and obviously any money we make is going to go towards doing it up.
Tim's cottage is set in 3 acres of rolling Welsh countryside, in an area dear to his heart.
So this is where I was born and bred. There's a village about a mile away, and that's where I went to the primary school.
Tim has plans to make this farm his forever home, juggling the building project with his busy working life. Luckily, he has 2 young assistants to help out.
99.9% of any spare time that I have are with my twins, Jasper and Felix, who are the love of my life, who are now 4.5, heading towards 5. And they come to Daddy's farm, so it's a very important thing, very, very close to my heart.
Here we are, look at that. Oh, isn't that lovely?
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, it needs a bit of work, but what a fantastic site.
The sandstone barns and cottage came with some contents, and Tim is also keeping some of his own items here to save money on storage costs.
So it's a real mixture of stuff, but some of it is just ready to go because at some point everything's got to come out of this house because there's going to be major works here.
Tim's good friend, the DJ and record producer Monroe, has been playing at a festival nearby. He gave Tim the push and encouragement to buy the place.
This could be a nice kitchen, living room. Who knows? It depends what we can do.
It's almost like getting a classic car, isn't it, and bringing it back
to
its former glory.
They have been good pals for years, but during lockdown, their daily walks helped Tim to formulate the plans for his move to the country.
Lovely, isn't it?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, nice to finally meet you. Hi,
And
Charlotte.
you.
Hi, Angus.
You're right.
This is Monroe.
Hello. Monroe, yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, we're having sort of a dance festival or something in the...
Well,
is that right?
Festival, not more of a gathering.
Gathering,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly, yeah.
For like-minded people.
So Monroe would make this into a recording studio?
Yeah.
Absolutely, I would.
Woodstock would be in that field down there.
Yeah, brilliant.
Why not?
That's one option.
Yeah.
Well, shall we have a look round?
Yeah,
Jed,
let's
shall
go
we?
here. Yeah.
After a long night on the decks, Monroe is off to catch up on some sleep.
Come on in.
Thank you very much.
Watch your heads.
What a great barn, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Character.
Amazing, and so much history to it, so we're going to try and retain as much as this. This actually is from my mum, who put it out here, who's very happy to sell this. It's not my taste, but my mum was quite keen to point out to me that it was, you know, it's properly handmade
Dovetailed,
and all this kind of stuff, so she's happy for that to go as well, because it's just gathering dust in here.
OK, it's a start, but it won't rebuild the barn.
And so some of this stuff was just here when you moved in, some stuff that you've brought up with you?
I think they must have used this as a workshop at some point, so that was here when I bought the place.
Yeah.
The rest of the stuff, I had lots of people in London had storage units that I'd had for forever, thinking I'll just put it in for a couple of months and then move it and sort it out, and then you don't.
Yeah, and I have to ask, because there's one bit in here that I like more than anything else.
Yeah.
The table at the back.
That could be something, I don't know what it is, what wood it is, or...
It'll be pine, so very typical Victorian painted pine.
Yeah.
It's sort of thing we'd expect to see in a farmhouse, or we're glad that we did.
Yeah, yeah.
Not the best one in the world, but it's honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, quite saleable. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then these are bits that you've picked up over the years.
When the papers picked up on the fact that I was having twins, I was approached by various baby companies to provide prams, and this was a surplus one that's still boxed.
This fancy double buggy and car seat should get snapped up on auction day.
I'm not planning on having any more twins.
Well, we didn't plan on having any either.
As you know, with children, as much as you say you're not going to spoil them, you've got so much stuff, things are boxed up and used twice, and I just thought, you know, all that stuff, if it's worth it.
The collection of kids' games will certainly bring a smile to someone's face.
That's pretty much all I have in here, and so I can show you inside the house, which is slightly less rickety as well.
Brilliant. There's a real mixture of items. We've got a bit of furniture. We've even got a brand new, top-of-the-range twins buggy. Why didn't we do this job 6 years ago when I needed one?
While Charlotte starts to pack things from the barn, Angus checks out the two-bedroom former estate cottage that Tim plans to renovate.
You've got your work cut out, haven't you?
Yeah.
But your time on Blue Peter must have helped, making all those things, crafting and...
I couldn't even, at the age of 50, put up a shelf. As an ex-girlfriend said, you look like Action Man, but you act like Barbie. But I have the vision to do things, so, you know, I leave it to the experts.
Yeah. But pretty much everything in here is pretty much for grabs?
Yeah, there's skates from Dancing on Ice. I've never used those since the day I finished on the show, which will be no surprise to anybody that saw me skate.
Tim came 5th in Dancing on Ice back in 2008. But since then, his TV work has been mostly based in America.
In 2004, I started working for NBC, travelling around the world. So it's been an amazing time, but for most people here, it's funny, they think Blue Peter. But for 15 years, you know, I've been doing stuff out in the States.
Working in the States, you did a lot with the movies and things like that?
But a lot of those shows would send out the presenter to the sets when they do press junkets. So I've done all the Mission Impossible films, the Harry Potter films, but they always give you these press packs. That one is Edge of Tomorrow, so at some point Tom Cruise will have given that to me on camera.
The press pack will need to be examined in detail back at the sale room.
Oh, I think that'd be all right, yeah. We like Tom Cruise in Yorkshire. He filmed the latest film there, just down the road from us, so...
What was that one?
Mission Impossible.
Oh, really? Cool.
On the railway at Pickering, yeah.
Wow.
It's all going on up in North Yorkshire, you know.
Now, though, Angus's mission, should he choose to accept it, is to start loading the bigger items onto the van.
And we're just going to lift it slightly that way. How strong are you feeling?
And it's filling up nicely. Charlotte and Angus need to hit the road back to the auction house. But first, along with Monroe, who has risen from his slumber, let's see if Angus's star client is happy.
Oh, wow. Definitely a bit more space in here, thank you.
Yeah.
Wow, great.
I was thinking, you know, it looks a bit like a nightclub.
Well, I was thinking going up on the wall, you know, like a pulpit.
Oh, you could have like a rostrum, like an auctioneer.
I think it's a bit cramped in here for a nightclub, chaps.
All right, well, I'll leave you two to your plans and let you redesign the outbuilding, and I'll see you up in your auction.
Thank you so much
Brilliant.
for your time.
No problem.
See you in a few weeks.
Brilliant. Cheers.
Safe trip.
All right. Bye.
See you later.
Definitely need a glitter ball.
I'm not convinced by a glitter ball, personally.
What a wonderful day. You know, it's jobs like this that make the job so enjoyable. You know, an interesting mix of items. I'm a bit disappointed Monroe hasn't given me like a mix track to play on the way back to Yorkshire.
Yes, but maybe you need to be focused on the task of raising Tim as much cash as you can for his renovations, because I think that this place might be a bit of a money pit. After a 3-hour drive back from Wales, Angus is back at Kirby Moorside, where with the help of specialist valuer Chris, they begin the task of unloading TV star Tim Vincent's items.
All right.
What have we got here then?
Well, I've unloaded bits. So, yeah, interesting mix. This is quite cool.
That's a cool thing. I do like that, actually.
Soundstage.
Soundstage.
I mean, all these sort of old things, well, I mean, theatre lights and all that sort of thing, really collectible. Somebody's put a light box in it.
And you know, it's like sometimes that if things are a little bit more distressed, I don't know, it seems to sell better sometimes. Weirdly enough, I don't know why, but
people like them at home in their
man
cave.
I do like that, actually. That's pretty good. There we go. Take that one in.
There's not a minute to lose, and as the van is emptied, the team take over researching and cataloguing each item for the online catalogue. Chris is taking a closer look at the movie press pack given to Tim by Tom Cruise.
This is not really the usual kind of stuff you would find on the market, because it was only given to the press and media covering the premiere of Edge of Tomorrow back in May 2014. And we've got all sorts of bits and pieces. Looks like we've got a little bag there. Looks like we've got a fold-out jacket, got a wallet. We've got the book. Of course, Edge of Tomorrow was originally based on a Japanese book by a guy called Hiroshi Sakurazaka, which is All You Need Is Kill. It's a great book as well. So it's a really cool thing. It does have a market, especially in fresh condition. There will be collectors of movie memorabilia that will see this, especially sci-fi movies, and I think they'll have a, you know, cheeky bid on it.
The online catalogue has excited interest in Tim's items. With the auction starting in less than an hour, Tim and his DJ buddy Monroe have arrived after their 150-mile drive from Wales.
Morning, you all right, lads?
Hello.
How you doing?
The
Yeah,
day is
good.
dawned.
You're right. You look a bit dazed there, Monroe. You're
I'm
right.
not used. This is when I get home.
Yeah.
This isn't when I get up.
This is called morning.
Yeah, this is sun.
Morning. Yeah.
Vitamin D. It's...
Poor Monroe. Someone get him a coffee.
Come on in. Right, after you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wow. Look at this. You can,
I'll let you look round.
you can smell the money.
Bit of vinyl down there.
Tim and Monroe plotted and planned for Tim's rural property dreams together on their epic lockdown walks.
That'll be a good feature item for you, Tim. What do you think of that?
Yeah, what is it?
I don't know.
Well, look, this is the stuff that we packed up.
Right.
Just a few weeks ago. That was all the kids' stuff that was never used, still boxed. That I really like that, you know. I'm starting to regret now. You know, you get buyer's regret.
Yeah.
You're getting seller's regret. Look at all this stuff. Look, this is all merchandise. I have high hopes for this.
I think they're going to be like, you know, two little schoolboys on a day trip out.
Oh, hang on. Look, that's a bit of
That's bigger than you.
These are what they used to... And you'd pick it up and you'd go, buy, sell, buy, sell.
One or two of the items are going to be a little bit challenging. I think probably his star items, or certainly the most commercial, is the light box. Some of the furniture might be a little bit of a struggle, and as great as the ice skates are that you did dancing on ice, we're in the middle of summer. Anyway, you never know to the final moment when you're selling.
Deep breath, Angus. It's almost time for the sale to start, if Tim can stop Monroe shopping.
This is you all day long.
No, that's why I'm not even coming over.
Here.
No, thanks, no.
Try that on.
But I don't want to go up in a fighter plane.
That is... Well, you've done it on Blue Peter.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a Top Gun jacket, that. What's the blonde guy called in...
The one that dies, Goose.
Goose, there you are.
Exactly.
This is a good look. I'm telling you, that's a nice jacket. Look at that. Winning. I mean, if that isn't Top Gun, I don't know what is.
Angus is revved up and ready for takeoff too. And joining him on the flight deck today are Jasper and Jack, with Joe on phone comms and Vanya as his wingman in the porter's coat. Let's turn and burn.
Right then, morning, ladies and gentlemen. I've got lots of people online, so we'll get underway then. Tim Vincent.
First up is an exclusive bit of kit with links to Maverick himself, a certain Mr. Cruise.
Now, this was unique. You could only get... This was like a press pack that gave just a...
Only to journalists that were on the set with Tom Cruise. They were given them at the time, so they were never for sale outside.
Never for sale. It looks like it's never been out the bag. Ooh. And I've got 2 bids on this. First one comes in at 110, next one comes in at 120. At 120 it is then. At 120 it is then. At 120 we're all done for the Edge of Tomorrow at £120. Wow. 120.
Off to a flying start.
Listen, it's good, isn't it?
Now, can Angus interest the movie buffs in the soundstage illuminated sign?
Oh, now here's the star lot. There we go. The soundstage. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 commission bids on this. 42, 50, 50, 50, 60. We're at £60 it is. Then at 60.
Go on, bid on that.
65, 70 and bid. 5, 75, 75 and sold. Then at 75.
The soundstage sign was a box office hit.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Next, it's the farmhouse table.
The barn find. Just take the 4 micro off, it'll be beautiful underneath. Wax it all up. The pint over there we go. Where should be? £80, start me. £80, get it going. £80. Come on, I told him how good it was. Don't let me down. Admittedly, that was before we lifted it out, but, you know. £80. Right.
The farmhouse table will leg it away at another sale in future.
Saving that one for another day. It's worth that all day long.
Next up, it's the still box twin travel system and buggies.
Anybody expecting twins?
Let's hope not.
No. There we go. Where should be for this? £100, start me. If you know anybody who's expecting...
Very awkward. Pause, silence.
Monroe, are you got any kids yet?
I have, but they don't need a pram anymore.
Oh, right, OK.
No twins or expectant parents in the room today.
Is it an actual pram as well?
Yeah, double pram, buggy.
Not to worry, because over the next 20 minutes, another 12 lots come under Angus's gavel, including the pine chest of drawers from Tim's mum.
At £55.
A bumper collection of games.
28.
And a pair of bedside cabinets.
Gavel's up at 32.
And last but not least, it's Tim's skates from Dancing on Ice.
Now, this is a bit of Tim Vincent history here, isn't it? Your ice skates worn on Dancing on Ice.
Yes.
You're not tempted to carry on skating on ice?
If anybody that's followed Dancing on Ice, I did a particularly impressive nutcracker move in those.
A nutcracker move, right.
I can't do it anymore because
No.
I'm 50 now,
Yeah.
but at the time it was very impressive.
There we go, the full issued kit from Dancing on Ice, there we go. £50 for it? 50. It's got to be worth that.
Gotta be. What size are they?
What size are they?
I think the size 10 or 11, but they are very expensive. They're bespoke skates, so they are expensive skates. They're not like ones you can just get off the shelf. And, you know, the leather comes with a bag. And a whip.
Yeah, you get the bag, you get the blade covers as well, don't you? Yeah. Should we move on?
Yeah, let's please move
Oh,
on.
we've got a bid online of 50.
Come on.
No way! Come on. £50 on the last second at 50. They're still cheaper than this at 50. But Tim's never going to skate again. At £50 it is. I'm scaring the dog now. At £50.
A brilliant result for the skates.
Even the dog's excited.
Are they for you? You need 4.
And the auction is done. As bidders leave the sale room, all that's left is for Angus to let Tim know how much he's made for that renovation pot.
Listen, I think we did, well, I did better than I was expecting. What did you think? Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad about that.
Well, my heart did drop with the pram.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that actually, if you wanted it, it's really cheap.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
kind of need it.
Yeah. Come on, then, what are we looking at? You know, am I retiring?
You'll be taking home £682.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's better than I thought. Brilliant.
It'll buy a few bags of cement.
Yeah. Well, you'll have to come and see it when it's finished.
I would love to.
Yeah.
I'd absolutely love to, yeah.
And I really enjoyed watching you in your natural habitat.
Thank you very much for being absolute gents and really enjoyed it.
Thank you very
no problem
much.
at all.
Tim.
Yeah, it's
And
all right.
can I have the money in tenors?
In tenors?
Yeah.
Do you want us to do it in fivers so it looks more?
Yes, please, yeah. Use
Brilliant.
notes.
Yeah,
Use notes.
yeah. Thanks.
Bye. He thinks we're joking.
I know.
I don't think they're going to redevelop the whole cottage on what I've raised for them, but it's cleared that space, it's getting it ready for that next stage. You know what, I think they've just had a great lads' day out, you know. They were full of energy, really fun.
After this, we should go and get an ice cream and look over the North Yorkshire moors.
Can you find me a ferret to pet?
I'm sure I know a guy.